A man by the name of Ted Haggerd, perhaps you've heard of him, was listed by Time magazine as one of the top 25 most influential evangelicals in America. Or what I like to say, a sort of team captain for the Bible jockeys. Haggerd was a firm supporter of the former President George W. Bush. Haggerd, early on in the Bush administration to late 2006, had meetings with Bush and or his advisors every Monday morning. Haggerd had stated at the time, no pastor in America holds more sway over the political direction of evangelical politics. Or what I like to say, the ignorant advising the stupid. Yes, Ted has quite the resume. Is the founder of a multi-million-dollar church, is the voice and speaks for over 30 million Christian sky pilots, is outspoken and against gays and lesbians and their rights to wed, is against abortion and the rights for a woman to choose, is against birth control for teens, and has a firm stance on drugs. But it seems Ted's life is not without profound irony. But first, let's look at irony, its definitions and types, because this is where I think the rubber meets the road for Ted, or what I would like to say, where the scrotum meets Ted's chin. Verbal irony, expression and intention, saying one thing and meaning another. Dramatic irony, expression and awareness, what the listener or audience understands but the speaker does not or chooses to ignore. Situational irony, intention and results, where the results of an action are contrary to the desire or what is to be expected. Cosmic irony, and my favorite, the definition between human desires and the harsh realities of the outside world, or what the creationists sky pilots call the whims of God. Yes, in November 2006, Ted was ousted by a male prostitute and masseur, Mike Jones. Like a scorned lover having a hissy fit, Jones started pointing his finger, and no doubt his cock, at Ted, and that Haggerd had paid Jones to engage in sex with him for at least 3 years, and had also purchased and used crystal methamphetamine. Jones said he had only recently learned of Haggerd's true identity and explained his reasons for coming forward by saying, and I quote, "It made me angry that there is someone out there preaching against gay marriage and going behind the scenes and having gay sex." At first, Ted claimed he had never met his accuser and in television interviews had said, "I am steady with my wife, I am faithful to my wife." But on November 5th, 2006, in a statement, Haggerd said, he is in fact guilty of sexual immorality. "You mean you blew another man, Ted?" Oof. And he takes full responsibility for the problem. "You mean you had fun?" Ted stated he also acknowledges some, but not all of the allegations, and was removed from his leadership positions in the religious organizations, including the church he had founded. I think this is a part of Ted's life that is so repulsive and dark. This is what he's been preaching against all of his adult life. Situational irony. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And this two-faced fool hit every obstacle on the way down. Ted is no doubt a liar, a hypocrite, a bigot, a cheat, a thief, a drug addict, a homosexual, and every other noun that you can think of to boot. On Larry King Live in February 2009, Haggerd admitted to having gay sex and having thoughts about gay sex all of his life. Haggerd admitted to doing crystal methamphetamine, but only a few times, which is absolute bullshit. Crystal methamphetamine is not something you wake up to one morning and say, "I'm going to do some blow." This is a drug you work up to from lesser drugs like cocaine and over-the-counter drugs, and then perhaps onto methamphetamine. Also on the same show, Ted mentioned that he is in counseling and that he and his counselor have classified him as a heterosexual male with complications. This is like standing in line at an amusement park and seeing that the ride has jumped the track and smashed a dozen people into the ground, and then turning to the person next to you and saying, "They're having complications." That was your friends and family on that twisted ride, Ted. You are all the above-mentioned nouns. You are a gay man with complications. You will always, always be one. After all this, I have just one question for Ted. Does a Christian man's penis taste saltier than a non-Christian man's? So, Ted, you liar, you bigot, you cheat, the bad finger to you. Go away, far away, and don't come back. Have a great day.